As you all know, my name is Sarina. What I don't know if you know about me is that I come from different cultures and I speak several different languages. I was born in India, where I learned my first language, Hindi. Then I moved to Sweden, where I learned my second language, Swedish. At the same time, I was raised in a Persian household, where I learned my third language, Farsi. When I was 6, I spent some time in Cambridge, England, where I learned English. And 2.5 years ago, I moved to the Netherlands, where I taught myself Dutch. Today, I speak 4 out of 5 languages, because I don't use Hindi anymore, but I still understand it when I hear it. Now, knowing all these languages has helped me a lot in my life. It's helped me get jobs. It's helped me being able to help other people. It's helped me being able to understand people from different cultures. And it's also helped me being able to move to a country and pick up the language and make myself understood in a relatively short time. Now, folks, that's a really big relief for a person who just moved to a different country. And best of all, I can also eavesdrop on people when they have no idea that I speak their language. Now, what I'm here to talk to you about today is the benefits and importance of teaching your children, our future generation, several languages. First, I will talk about how it will increase their learning abilities. Then I will talk about how it will help their cross-cultural understanding. And finally, I'll talk about how it will help them stand out in the real world. Now, who can tell me what increases a child's critical thinking skills, creativity, and flexibility of the mind? Now, I'm going to answer that one for you. It's teaching your child several languages. When a child learns a second or third language, it actually increases their cognitive development compared to a child who is not bilingual. Studies have shown that when a child is learning a second language, they actually grasp the concept of object permanence a lot earlier than other children. This means that they know that an object is the same even if it has a different name in a different language. And did you also know that students who are bilingual actually outscore their peers who are not bilingual in not only the linguistic part of the test, but also the mathematic parts of the test? Studies have shown that if a child is learning a second language, even if it takes time away from them learning mathematics, they still outscore the non-bilingual peers in the mathematics section. Now, the fact that there's a relation between learning a second language and increased mathematics skill development shows that it's not only about linguistic activity in a child's mind, it's more of a cognitive activity in a child's mind. It basically means that your child gets more intelligent by learning more languages. Teaching your child a second language also increases their self-confidence. Children are constantly learning new things, and exploring a second language can be really thrilling and rewarding. It will give them a sense of accomplishment, and it can ignite a deeper and a broader passion for learning in general. A research report from the UK Department of Education and Skills states that learning a second language in primary school develops self-confidence, enthusiasm, curiosity, and openness. Now, I think these are all traits that we would all like to have for our children. Another interesting fact is that children frequently mimic sounds that they hear, and they're surprisingly good at it too. They have a unique sensitivity for slight differences in tones and sounds. And they are well attuned to pick up and duplicate these sounds, which can be really difficult for us adults to do. This means that if a child is exposed to a certain language in a certain accent, they can actually end up speaking that language in a native accent, which can be helpful for them in the future. For example, when I was younger, spent some time in California. Now, I learned English in Sweden, and no one around me was speaking in the California accent. However, I ended up having a Californian accent. And this actually helped me land jobs that only native speakers are allowed to have, although I'm not a native speaker. Now, moving on. Now I'm going to talk to you about how learning your child's second language helps their cross-cultural understanding. Now, several languages usually means different cultures. A child can have parents from different cultures, or relatives, or they can be living in a different country that is different from your own. And teaching them a second language and being exposed to different cultures can help your child connect with that culture. And when a child can make themselves understood in a foreign language, they get a sense of belonging and understanding for that culture. And today our world is very globalized and multicultural, and we're constantly being faced with people who have different values and beliefs than we do. And this can be really difficult if you're not used to meeting people from different cultures. So that's why it's crucial that your child learns a different language and familiarizes with a different culture to make them more tolerant and accepting of people from other countries. Hopefully this will lead to a more tolerant, understanding, and a more peaceful future. Now, lastly, I want to talk to you about something that I think we all want to know, is how to make our children stand out in the real world. Now, to have a successful career, you need to have an education. However, there are thousands of people who have the same education, and they have the same experience, the same knowledge. What will make your child stand out is that something extra, something that you necessarily don't learn in the traditional school system. And like I said before, countries are becoming more globalized and multicultural. So that's why knowing several languages will be crucial for the future. It's going to be that one game changer when you set your child aside from all other thousands of people who have the same education as they do. However, it's not only knowing the language that is going to be important, it's also other benefits that come from knowing the language. For example, being bilingual means that you can communicate with a lot more people than non-bilingual people. That means that your child will have a greater network, which is also a crucial feature for a good career. In conclusion, what I'm trying to talk to you, or what I'm trying to convey to you today, is that it's crucial and important and has a lot of benefits to teaching your child a second or a third language. Like I said earlier, it's not a matter of linguistics. It's proven that learning several languages increases a child's cognitive development. It increases mathematics skills, they score higher on tests, it develops their self-confidence, their enthusiasms, their curiosity and openness, and they can learn how to speak a language just as a native speaker. And learning your child several languages also helps them become a more worldly person. Being exposed to more cultures develops their tolerance and understanding and acceptance. Now, if we all had those traits, wouldn't this world be a lot nicer place? And don't forget that knowing several languages will help your child stand out in a multicultural society, and it will help them land that job and that career that they've always been wanting. Now, if you take a second to think about everything that I've been talking to you about today, you can almost say that knowing several languages is like having a superpower. And I mean, what child doesn't want to have a superpower?